This is... Hi everybody, I'm not sure what's happened here. I think I'm in the wrong... I don't think this is right. Just a second, I think I've gone live, but I don't know if I've gone live the right way. Oh gosh, what's going on? Is that me? What's happening here? I think I'm okay. I think that the orientation's changed or something, but I can see I'm on here, so I don't know. I'm just going to wait a little bit first. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself anyway. Hi, this is Kim from DIY Dream Weddings UK. And I was quite excited before I come on, but that kind of threw me a bit because I always do my lives the same way when I come on. But for some reason, it decided it didn't like the way I was orientated on here. So I'm sorry if this isn't quite right. Let me know if it's not. It looks like I am. I think I'm live. I can see that I'm live on here. Okay, sorry. It's just a few technical glitches, but I think we're okay. So I'm going to carry on with this and let me know if there's any problems. Let me just have a look on my see what it was doing. That's fine, isn't it? It looks all right to me. Okay, actually, it's better than what it normally is because it's flipped everything round, so you can actually see it from a different angle. So, right, okay. Anyways, here I am, and today I thought it'd be lovely to start a new project. And this one is going to be a pop-up wedding bouquet, and the reason for that is so you can fold it down. So if you are going to a different country or you're going to travel for your wedding day and you're the bride and you're not sure how you're going to pack it in your suitcase, this is perfect for you because this all folds down. Okay, this is your prototype. So I've done a prototype. This front piece, well, we can cut this down, okay, so you don't need to have this piece at the back. This front piece doesn't have to be a circle, it can be any shape you want. Okay, on the back here we have the handle, and I'm actually still developing that because I'm not sure if it's a good idea to put your arm in like this or whether it will drop too much. It all depends on the design that you're having. You could also have it as a handle like this. This way is more solid because it doesn't dip. Okay, so that's where we are with this. So I'm going to start creating this. You could have this any orientation as well. So I'm going to start creating this and then I can show you as I'm going along what I mean when I'm explaining about stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to go. The doorbell's gone. Please bear with me. Oh, sorry, I'm back. It's been a bit funny because nothing was going on at all this morning before, so I'm here. Right, so I've got my bits of paper with my measurements on, and what I really wanted to try out was, sorry to go away from the camera, what I really wanted to try out was, and how rude of me, I haven't said I hope you had a nice weekend and everyone's well. I really do. I want to do it on 300 GSM, which I haven't done before because I think, see, the back here is quite sturdy and I want it to be quite sturdy. Okay, so I want this to be quite sturdy so you can keep folding it down and stuff. Okay, so this isn't, so I'm going to do that. So to start with, just going to bring my bits and pieces over. I've got my measurements here. Perhaps I cheated a bit because really this is supposed to be a prototype. So really I'm supposed to do it, you know, straight off on the live, but I've decided I just couldn't do it. I had to make sure it worked first. Okay, so for this, the base of your bouquet, so the base of your bouquet is this piece here. Okay, so we're not looking at the handle yet, we're just looking at this piece here. Okay, so we're going to create this piece. It's all in parts, okay, and that part is 12 by 22 centimeters. So what you want to do is take your ruler and so if you come on, say hi, it'll be lovely to have a chat with you. So 22 centimeters from the edge, okay, and then we want to measure, what did I say, 12. So what I like to do is I like to measure against the straight edge to make sure that's really accurate. So I'm going to do 12 from this end. Okay, can't believe I'm measuring on a live. Am I mad or what? But I know it works. So that's the main thing. If you're not sure if this is going to be straight, what you could do is you could measure from the other straight edge, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it from here, because you can just line up your ruler with the top of the page. Okay, so this is 12, wasn't it? Did I say it was 12? So it's 12 by 22. So what we're going to do now is join those 12s up. Just measure, just make sure that's right. Okay, so we'll join those up. This is a prototype, so I'm not worried too much about accuracy. Okay, I just want to, like, the only reason we do a prototype is to see if the design works. Okay, so this is where you can make mistakes, and actually on my channel I make a lot of mistakes, I really do. Okay, so that is roughly 22. No, actually it's 23. Let's bring that in. Sorry, I don't know how I managed to do that. That's 22. Can't believe I've done that wrong. Okay, so let's bring that in a bit. Luckily I checked that. So 22 by 12. Okay, right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually measure that that's right before I so we've got our base. So if that's right, you should be able to fit your base in there, whichever way it's going to go. So that's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's me just right. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to cut this. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to use my scissors to cut this out. Okay. I just wanted to see if it works on this card, or whether we might need a thicker piece to support this. We might need a thicker piece. We'll see. So I've never done it on this card before. Okay. We don't want it too thick because, like I said, the idea of this is to be able to fold it down. So this is your base, okay, which is this piece here, okay. So it should be the same size. Actually, that's a good way to measure it. There we are. See, that's the same as that. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to do this piece underneath here. Okay, and this piece underneath here is these measurements here. So I've got here, I've just did the measurements earlier. I'm just checking that they're right. 18. So you want a piece 18 centimeters by 10, by 11. Listen to me, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I might actually rub that out so I can 18 centimeters by 11. Okay, so that's what we want next. This bit is a little bit more. I wonder if we'll get it on there. We might get it on there. Yeah, we will. Okay, so if we do, so see what I mean? So if that fits on there. So if we go 18 centimeters, okay, and then we do 11, and then we do 11 here. I know some people will look and go, don't you know how to measure? No, I don't know how to measure. Okay, that's 18. So I'm gonna join those dots up because they should both be still not right. Oh gosh, I'm terrible at measuring, I really am. Okay, that's it there, that one, and that one and that one. Sometimes what I do is I mark it and then I don't join it up in the right place. So it's like, so that should be, that's 11 there. Okay, and that's 11. See, sometimes I don't know, somehow, even though I've measured it, it's never really straight. But okay, so that's your 11 by, oh, that's slightly out still. Look at that. 18, I think it's there. I think it's that one there. 18. So what I'll do is, you can actually, what you can do, if you've got a scoreboard, okay, you can actually measure that on the scoreboard, or you might have a cutting machine that you can measure that out on, okay, rather than a ruler. So I'm going to just cut that, and hopefully that's the right, hoping that's the right actually that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you. If you're not sure if it's right, just it's 18, right? If you've got a scoreboard, just place it in the scoreboard and just draw down there. Okay, that's 18 centimeters, by the way, and then just cut it where you want to cut that. Okay, and that should be about right. Yeah, that's 18, and that was it, 18 by 11, more or less. That's right. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to score 4 centimeters from each end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there, and then I'm never too sure if that's centimeters on that side, so I'm going to turn this round and I'm going to do 4 from this end like this, and then you've got your piece in the middle there that your circle's going to sit on. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to score 1 centimeter in from each end as well. Okay, like this, and then turn that around and do the other end. Okay, there we are. So that is your base for your circle, and your circle will sit on top like that. Okay, so we're just gonna fold that. Okay, just fold that in like this. Can you believe, you get someone knocks on the door just at the beginning of their live. Right, you can make these tabs longer if you want to. I don't think they really need to be, but you could make them longer. So we've got, so that goes on the top there, okay, and then your circle will go on top here, okay, And like I said, you don't have to have this piece very long. You don't have to have it that long. You might decide, rather than having it, this is what I was saying before, rather than having it bending this way, you might want to have it bending upwards or downwards. And I might actually do that instead, because then your circle will tuck in better, perhaps, if you do it that way. So I think I'm going to do it this way, even though on the other prototype I didn't. So now that's more or less it. Now what we want to do is cut our circle out. It doesn't quite go on this piece. So we need another sheet of 300. Okay, so I'm gonna, it won't quite go on there. So this is a 20 centimetre in diameter circle. I say it's a circle. It might not be cut accurately, but you can do any shape you want for this bit. So you might want to do anything. You might want to do a triangle, any shape, a square. If you want a square, I would say just leave this, or you could just use this that you've just made, and just don't put the circle on top. So this is quite a versatile design, this one. So this is paper, so I might have a bit of problems trying to get this round, but I'm going to just, as it's a prototype, I'm just going to do it as accurately as I can. So I haven't got a compass. My compass is absolutely rubbish. Well, I just want to say to you, we went to a quiz the other night, and there was actually a circle cutter there, but I never won it, and I was really gutted. So anyway, so you can buy these tools where you can cut circles and things, and I need one of those really. Right, so this is 20 centimeters in diameter, this circle, but you can do any shape. You might want to scale it down or scale it up, whatever. So I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so if you have just come on, or you don't know what we're making a pop-up wedding bouquet. And the reason for that is that sometimes you might actually want to you might be having a destination wedding. I couldn't think of a word for it. A destination wedding, which is when you go abroad for your wedding, or you go to a different place from where you live, or and you might want to travel with this bouquet. And I thought, wouldn't it be lovely to have a pop-up wedding bouquet? Okay, wouldn't that be lovely? Then you could just pack it, maybe you could even pack it in a box or something and put it in your suitcase. Okay, so that's the idea here. It's a lovely pop-up wedding bouquet. I'm just cutting these pieces down so I can put them in the rubbish. Nothing technical about that. So it's a very technical live, this. If you are looking to create a wedding bouquet for a destination wedding, you could be in the right place here. Yeah, this could be more of a circle. Sorry, it's not as much of a circle as it could be. It could be more of a circle than that. But okay, then what we want to do is we want to assemble this how we want to have it. And I'm thinking, let's have it. So I'm not sure about this GSM because it's ever so it doesn't bend as much as the other card because it's thicker. Okay, but I really wanted to have so what was this? This is 10, isn't it? No, this is 11. So I'm just going to try and mark this so it's kind of in the middle here. So kind of in the middle. So if that's in the middle there, let's have a go. Hold on. I'm just going to do a bit of measuring here. Measuring, Kim? You measure? I don't think you do. What have we got? Just over half a centimetre, maybe. I'm trying to get this in the middle, but you know, once you get this stuck down and you've got all your decorations on it, you probably wouldn't even notice if it's in the middle or not. But I'm gonna just try and get it, try and work out where the middle is. haven't got much desk here. I haven't got much desk. That is 0.5 on that side. Okay, and that is, oh, okay, maybe we could do it 0.5 from the edge then. So if I just put a mark here, 0.5 from the edge, and another one here, 0.5 from the edge. Okay, this might actually, what way was I going to do it? Let's just, yeah, sorry, I'm not very good at this measuring lark. I keep saying that, don't I? Stop saying that, Kim. Not giving anyone any confidence by saying that. My pencil was blunt. Out there. I've got so many marks now, I won't know where to put it. So if I just put, what way were we going to do it? Was we going to do it that way? I think we were going to do it that way, weren't we? I want to come up a bit more. So you can put this where you want. I'm just going to do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put a line there, like that. And another line there, like that. I'm going to do it below that line, so that circle goes like this. It bends down like that. Okay, so I'm going to put some, I'm being brave because I'm going to put some hot glue on this. Okay, and I'm going to just bring that up right to where those lines are. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to mark this end as well, because I don't want this, I want this to fold down. Okay, so just there. Actually, might even need to come in a bit more than that. Let's move that a bit more in. So if I just let go of that and it's sprung into where it wants to be. So we'll do it where it wants to be. Okay. Okay. So let's just put some glue on there and just let that go where it wants to stick. Okay. And then, sorry about the marks. Okay. Just seeing if this works with a GSM. Okay. That is. Okay, yeah, that needs to bend slightly. It's quite hard to get that right, actually. I thought it would be easier than this. It's quite hard to, perhaps that could come out a bit more. See how that's bending slightly inwards? Okay, so then we want to stick our circle on top. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to stick that. I might actually even do it with double-sided when I actually do it for real. And I'm just going to stick that on there like that. Okay, and you can have your circle anywhere you want. You can just stick it wherever you want on this. There we are. And that is how you do your pop-up for your bouquet. Okay, and then we're just going to decorate this with flowers or whatever we want. We can have anything we want. It doesn't have to be flowers. It could be anything. So the next bit we've got is the handle. And I was a little bit not sure about this handle. Okay, because so this is some measurements for the handle. As you can see on this one, what I was going to do was you could have put your hand in here, right? But I'm not sure, unless that's quite tight around your wrist, I'm not sure if this is going to drop down a bit and whether that would make any difference or not. Okay, so you could have it that way and put your arm in here, or you could actually do a handle like this and make it long. So you could perhaps put another one of these on top and make it like a long handle, and then it would kind of bend that way, so it would come out there. Something else I was going to say. What was the other thing? So you could do it that way. The other thing I thought was perhaps if you had a hole in here, that might work. Or you could just not have this. You could have, perhaps you might want to put a piece of elastic on here or something to hold it with. So it's just the handle bit that I'm querying a little bit here. I'm not sure whether to do it like this or whether to do it like this. I think this would, if you did it like this, I think you'd do the handle off. Obviously that would need to be thinner. This piece would need to be thinner because you don't want to hold on to that much bulk. Okay, so and you would just hold on to it like that. So just really, and that would probably be something that would change. It would change a bit according to what that person wants. Okay, so I'm gonna do it as I've done it on here. Okay, that's as far as I got with that. So I did that this way round, so we've got, so it bends like that. Okay, so if you want to do the same as this, what you'll need is, so we're going to measure out our handle now. What you'll need is a piece of card. Is that 26? Just a moment, let me just measure that. 26 centimetres long by 8 centimetres wide. Okay, so we want to measure across here, 26 centimetres long. Okay, by 8 centimetres wide. So I'm going to do that from here like this. Okay, so you might have another way of doing the back piece. And in fact, I'm wondering whether, sorry, things are coming to my head as I'm doing this actually. I'm wondering whether you could just put a hole in here for the handle or something, like a hole in this piece, and just still that's going to move up and down. So it's the fact that this folds in that I'm having problems with. So anyway, that's 8. That's 8 there. So I'm going to just do an 8 in the middle here, so that I know that's your 8 by, what am I talking about? Yeah, that's right, 8. That's right, 8. 8. So that should be 8 there. So I'm going to draw across here. Okay, and then we've got, so this should be 26. Okay, and this is 8, so I'm going to just draw down there like that. And then what we want, we're going to cut that piece out, but what we want to do then, yeah, is we want to do our score lines. So we're going to cut this piece out. Okay. I thought about doing this before, but I just couldn't work out how. And now that I've discovered how to do this, I realise there are so many different ways of making your bouquet fold down. There's so many different ways. There's some other designs that I'd like to show you as well. So not just this one, there's other ones. So if you're not keen on this idea, there's lots of different ones. Okay, so that's right. So you can see there where the score lines are. So I measured it out before. Okay, so that's, so what we want to do is we want to measure 8 inwards, or inwards on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my scoreboard back. Okay, now I know it's the right measurements, and I'm going to measure, there's my blank folder, and what I want to do is I want to do 8 from this edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 centimeters from this edge, and do a score line there. Okay, and we're going to do the same on the other side, so we do 8 on this side too. Okay, and that would make this piece in the middle, this piece should be 10. Yeah, so this from here to here, from this score line to this score line is 10. Okay, so then what you want to do is draw a 1 centimeter line from the end of each end. Okay, from the end of each end, you know what I mean, and hopefully you do. And then that's all you need. So you've got 1 centimeter, then you've got 8, then you've got 10, and then you've got 8, and then you've got 1. So that's score lines. Okay, all the way across. Can't believe I'm doing this on a live. Okay, and then you want to fold. Actually, it's better to fold it the way you scored it. So fold it the way you scored it. Fold that. Fold your score lines. Okay. Make sure they're folded quite well, because you want to be able to bend that down. Okay. Right. So that is that, and that is the back of your. So if I measure that there, that's the same as that. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring this back, and that will go. So if you want to put your hand in there, which is what I'm going to do, and do it like so. If you want to put your hand in there, that would go. So you would have that way. Okay, but if you want a handle, you might want to have it this way. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark roughly where the top of that other piece is on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this side here. Okay, and I can kind of line it up. I'm just going to do great big marks on here, because that's what the prototype's all about. It's about doing big marks. Well, it's about just seeing if it works or not. So that's what it's all about. So I'm going to just stick that there. So I'm going to put some glue on there like that. You might have some paper glue or something that you can use that way you've got a bit more wiggle room than I have. Okay, and then just glue that on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just it's really hard to know how that's going to bend until you stuck it on. That glue's not dry yet. Make sure your glue's dry before you start bending it. Okay. I think I might put double side on this when I actually do it. I think it would glue it better. Okay. And then I think that needs to come in a bit, so I'm gonna just do it to about there. Okay, let's start down then. It's not straight, it should be more straight than that, but and that should bend down I'm thinking now, perhaps the way I did that, I should have stuck it, I should have folded it first. But you can see what I mean? That's kind of gone over a bit more now on that side. So I'm going to have a bit problems with trying to get that to bend flat. Perhaps I'm being a bit fussy, but that needs to be able to bend. See, what I should have done was bend it. I don't know if that'll come off. Will that come off? Because this is thicker card, we might have a bit of leeway here. So maybe what I should have done was done that. Okay. And then try to think how I could stick that. Sorry people, I'm just trying to think. So maybe what I should have done was done that and then stuck it. So let's see if we can do it that way. So I'm going to just bring this around. So maybe stick it down like this. Oh, no, hold on. Like that. So it's flat. So lay it flat and then do it, perhaps. And then you might get more of an accurate, yeah, that's better. Okay, I just haven't done this sort of design before, so that's why I'm doing this live, really, just to see that I can get this right before we go into doing the actual video. So really this is also preparing me for the videos as well. So can you see how that's going to drop? And I was a little bit frightened of that, but once you put your arm in, what I thought was, if you put your arm in there and we made that a bit tighter, so if we made that a bit tighter, that might actually work. Okay, so that is your fold down wedding bouquet base. Okay, isn't that lovely? So you probably are thinking, well, actually, so you could actually have that as a centerpiece for your table, or you can have a few of those with flowers on, or with decorations of any kind on there. You might want to cut this piece in. That's your base measurements that I'm going to give you, but I've done it longer so in case you want to decorate it or you want to use it as part of the design. Okay, so then you can just put that inside your suitcase. And actually I'm wondering whether to do a box for this. I could actually probably do a box for that. How big would that box be? So it'd need to sit flat like that, wouldn't it, in the box? So yeah, you could have it'll be quite a big square box. So let me know, would you have a box for that? So what I'm going to do, what I thought of doing was just decorating the base with some flowers or whatever you want on there. Perhaps you might like to tell me what you'd like me to decorate this with. And it would just come up like that. And I would be tempted myself just to cut this down, this piece here in the middle, this piece here, because I don't really want it this big now. And if I cut that down, I'll have to remeasure it again. But I think I'll do that in the video. I'll work out how big I want that to be. So you might not want to have this piece here, and if you didn't have that there, then you just would have this circle with your flowers on here, like this. You could have you could make this in a smaller dimension as well. Okay. So that is how that works. Yes, I'm really, really happy with that. So I'm going to go away now because I know it's a bit early, but I'm also having to think, I'm going to have to think about how we're going to cover this because we don't want it white. Well, we might want it white for a wedding, but you might be able to find some 300 GSM card which is coloured. That would work really well for this project, because then you wouldn't have to do any decorations or anything to cover the white up. Okay, so that is, gosh, that is, I'm really happy with, I'm really pleased with that, that's worked. Maybe not so bulky on the back if you're not going to put your hand through there. It's too wide really, that needs to be a little bit. So we sort of know where we want to do our tweaks now. Okay, you could actually even, just giving you suggestions here, you could have a big flower on the front here. Okay, you could have, the other thing that you could do, and I did have, see this one here, you could leave it as a square, and you could, not this one, sorry, well, on this side you've got this piece underneath, okay, and it's very similar to this piece here. And what you could do is you could do like an aperture in here, and you could have a frame, and you could do you could make yeah, you can just leave that square underneath and just cut bits out, cut a frame in it, and do it that way. So there's lots of different things you could do with this one design. Okay, it's not just going to be, it's not just like this. Okay, okay then, so I'm going to be off. Let me know what you thought about this project. The next thing you want to look out for on my channel is the video. So I'll be doing a video on how this bouquet is going to work out, and it actually looks like a card as well, but yeah, how this bouquet is going to work out. And yeah, so I'm going to do a tutorial on this, on some video tutorials on this, so look out for those. So that's the pop-up wedding bouquet tutorials, and I will make a playlist up for pop-up bouquets if this works out, and then I might do a few different designs on this one, because I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we'll see in the videos. Okay, so yeah, let me know what you think about this project, and I'll be back soon. I'm normally live every Wednesday at 12, but I decided to come on a bit earlier. Because I really wanted to show you this design before I put it on a video, and I wanted the whole week, well, more or less the whole week, to do the video. I wanted to put the video on this week really, but it takes me a little bit of time to get it edited and up and everything and recorded. So yeah, blah blah blah, Kim. Now I'm just mumbling on about my schedule, but yes, next week hopefully it will be a 12 on Wednesday, but any reschedules I put in the post on this channel. So this is DIY Dream Weddings, and I'm Kim, and I'm just going to say over and out now. And if you like this video, this live, you can always press the like button, and you can subscribe this channel to get more lives and videos just like this one. And there's lots of different designs of wedding bouquets on here and that you can have a look at. Okay then, everybody, so I'll see you again soon. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you, yeah, very soon in the next video. Okay, bye bye for now.